What's going on, great people? Another day, another story. Today, we're going to talk about Gavin Newsom and his code switching. Like, too much of nothing amazes me anymore. Not too much of anything surprises me anymore, right? But we're at the point now, like, how long are people going to fall for the same things, right? Now, when it comes to Democrats, we all know Democrats, they love to pander to black people. Their code switching amongst black people it's on a whole different level. They've mastered it. But somehow the black people still haven't caught on to it. Right. They can come up, they can go to the hoods, they can go to the neighborhoods, they can go to the churches, they can go on these podcasts and they can talk about how they have hot sauce in their bags, how they cook their greens in tubs. They can get in the pulpit and put on a whole different accent. Well, today we have Gavin Newsom. I'm not sure when this podcast was recorded, but we're going to check out Gavin Newsom as he goes and sits down with Matt Barnes and Stephen Jackson. And I've seen clips of it, but I haven't watched the interview in its entirety. But we're going to check it out, man, because I've seen the clip and it's pathetic. Here we have Gavin Newsom sitting down with Stack 5 and Matt Barnes. Stack 5, what he calls himself, Stephen Jackson, former NBA player. Now he's a podcaster or whatever he wants to go by. But I just want you guys to check this out.
We grew up. Let's go back to young.
And I
YG,
purposely
young
went
Gav.
to, like I said, I haven't watched this, but I've seen clips of it. So right here, as you can see, when you go to the stream cursor, you can see the different titles and where you can choose to start the video. So I see Stephen Jackson Day, America in Reverse. No point even watching that. More Democrat propaganda. Of course, Oakland crime and violence drop. Restoring Oakland spirit. Sure. Then we have Young Gav, which I'm sure this is where the pandering starts. YG, Young Gav.
YG. Y'all hear this? It started here. It started here. YG, man. Young Gav. What were you into as a teenager in the back? YG.
Let's start it from the front.
Let's go back to young YG, young Gav. YG. Y'all hear this? It started here. It started here. YG, man. Young Gav. What were you into as a teenager in the back? YG,
and notice how they just. That's another thing I don't understand is when they know who to put in position, right? They know who and what kind of black people to go to pander, because some black people aren't going to put up with this. They're not going to accept the pandering. They're not going to allow you to just come in their face and play around and act like you're just so down with the cause. They're not going to do that. So they have these people in position like Stephen Jackson, Matt Barnes, or whatever, because they know that these people are essentially on the left. Especially with Stephen Jackson, he was making a big deal. He was one of the main ones in that whole BLM protest movement. You know, he was constantly making videos about George Floyd. So they already know what type of time this type of podcast is on. But just notice how when it comes to someone like Gavin Newsom, a prominent Democrat, right? And then you have, how can I put it? 1 minute it's white man bad, white supremacist, white supremacy, racism, this, that, and third. Now you got someone like Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, who damn near let the entire state burn to the ground. Now y'all in his face shucking and jiving. As if he's not the white supremacist, the racist, and all this stuff. And this man is fighting to allow illegal immigrants to come and take over the entire state. What does that do for the Black Americans in California? It puts them at the bottom of the totem pole, right? What Gavin Newsom is still, he's also the same person that if I'm not mistaken, he vetoed the reparations bill. It was something dealing with reparations that went on in California, and it made its way to his desk, and he vetoed it. But now all of a sudden, he's on the podcast with Matt Barnes and Stephen Jackson, Stack 5. Now it's all a big party.
What was I into?
Yeah.
Baseball. I heard you were a baseball guy.
I was
Star baseball player.
I was
Star baseball player.
It's
Star.
interesting. I was at the time, and forgive me, Father, I have sinned back then. I was a big Celtic fan, which was interesting.
Crazy.
Obsessed with them. Unheard of. Number 17 all my life, because I loved Havlicek.
You shooting guard.
Yeah, and that's why I love Mullen too, because same thing. He's a lefty. I was a lefty. So obsessed with basketball and baseball. Classic divorce family. My dad was great. Later, reconnected.
Better late than never.
Yeah, facts. He was never terrible.
What is going on, bro? Like, I didn't even see this part. Like, now he's throwing up it was a classic divorced family, separated household. Dad wasn't there, but he came back later on. He was good later on. Everybody looks around and smiles at each other and laughs, like, because we all know the Black, within the Black population, the Black race, a lot of homes are single parent. So that's the first one I've caught. Now, it could be more within this video, but because I skipped a whole lot to get to this point, but this is the first one I've caught to try to make itself more relatable. Oh, I didn't have a dad. I didn't have a father in the house.
And he didn't raise us. Yeah. My mom was 19, pregnant, and divorced a few years later with 2 kids, came from no money, and just hustled, worked hard, grinding every single day, 2.5 jobs, no bullshit, literally 2.5 jobs. Part-time bookkeeper. She did restaurant. That's how I got in the restaurant business. She was a waitress for years and years, and a part-time property manager, basically just opening up and closing up rentals. And she just taught me hard work and grit. And I struggled, couldn't really read or write, bounced around a bunch of different schools. And she said, we got to get out of San Francisco. You're falling behind. I had pretty severe dyslexia, and we ended up in Marin County. And she just hustled, man. We had roommates all the time because she couldn't afford the rent. In our garage, there was a car. I always said it was my car. It wasn't my car because we were renting out for $50 a month so someone could store their car. Ended up being a foster family. Yes, to help, Suleiman and Larry Joe and these guys, Stephen Ashby, my buddy. But also, it was also about paying the bills, man. And it was just like hustling. And so I was out there kind of raising myself, turning on the TV, started, just getting obsessed, sitting there with the Wonder Bread and 5 stacks of,
it's like the White Stack 5 story.
Sounds like the White Stack 5 story. Now all of a sudden y'all are twins, huh? Because he got the Wonder Bread on the table. He got the Mile High stacked Wonder Bread on the table. Now all of a sudden he's Black and he's the White Stack 5. Y'all are twins. This is just so hilarious. This man is just coming playing in y'all face, man.
Come on. Kraft macaroni and cheese.
Yeah, bro. Are you talking about me?
Young YG.
Come on, man. Close your mouth, bro.
Every day.
I haven't seen
basketball.
I haven't seen the ball. That many teeth showing from Stack 5 and ever. Why are you so excited, bro? What is going on here? Why are you so excited, bro? Relax, champ. Relax. Come on, man. You don't see when someone's playing in your face?
Against the wall until the ball is just like fraying, man. And your arm started, just getting obsessed, sitting there with the, the Wonder Bread and 5 stacks of,
Man, it's like the white
First of all, what does that even have to do with anything? Nobody asked you what you used to eat, man. What does the Wonder Bread 5 stacks? What are you talking about? Where did that even come from? I bet in his mind right now, things are just, it's so many things that are going on. He's like, man, how can I fit in? How can I be relatable to these guys? How can I sound like I'm from the hood, from the ghetto, and grew up like them, and how I think they grew up off the Wonder Bread, 5 stacks of Wonder Bread, and dribbling basketballs. Because I'm right beside 2 former NBA players. Come on, bro.
Five story.
Come on. Kraft macaroni and cheese.
Man,
Good, bro.
Are you talking about me?
Young YG.
YG,
But
man. Good.
every day in the backyard, just bouncing the basketball, throwing the ball against the wall until the ball is just like fraying, man. And your arms
Entertaining
falling
yourself.
off. That's it. Whole thing. So just, and then, then this student that
Outside with a basketball, just bouncing the ball, throwing it up against the wall, throwing the basketball up against the wall, right? Throwing the basketball up against the wall and just having a grand old time eating 5 stacks of Wonder Bread and mac and cheese. Really? That's all you can come up with. That's all you can come up with. Man, I'll tell you, bro, like when someone's legit about growing up in poverty, that's not even gonna come up. Stuff like that don't even come up, bro. Sitting outside, dribbling the basketball, bouncing up against the wall, that doesn't even come up. All right. What comes up is, oh man, I stayed in a 3-bedroom house with 6, 7 people. We didn't have much, but we had enough. I had good friends, good childhood. We grew up playing sports, whatnot, basketball, football. Got in a little trouble here and there. But for the most part, we made things work, and we got out and work. We got out and grind. Ain't nobody talking about some, man, I just remember 5 stacks of Wonder Bread. There's some mac and cheese. And then I had a basketball. I was just dribbling a basketball. And I was throwing it up against the wall. What?
was shitty student is in the back with his head down, all of a sudden started throwing the baseball a little faster than everyone else and started, make a few free throws because I was sitting there practicing 500 of them every damn night. And in high school,
You go, so
I
okay.
look up in the stand.
Now you was practicing free throws. You go from throwing the ball up against the wall to practicing free throws to throwing a baseball.
My dad's back up there.
Okay. Dope.
And it's like, man, and then he's bringing his friends and you're captain of the team and you're like, gee, and it just saved me and it got me into college baseball. I got a 0 scholarship, but it was the ticket, man.
Yeah.
I was going to College of Marin. I was going to JC, man. I was 960 or 980 on my SAT. And that was cool. Like my mom's like, it's okay to be average. Not sure that was the best thing to say.
I thought that was good.
Yeah, no, that's just.
My bad. I thought you aced it. That sounded like you aced it to me.
I think if you sign it, you get like 4.
That sounded like a perfect score to me.
They couldn't average Jack's 3 scores to get him that high.
My basketball average couldn't get my score right. That was crazy.
So anyway, it got me into college, man. So I'm here for 2 reasons. I mean, I'm here because of my mom, but and her everything. But in politics, from this one guy, Willie Brown, and because of sports, which just
Willie
gave
Brown.
me
He's about
a
Kamala
sense of
Harris is
confidence I
Willie
didn't have in
Brown.
anything else. And so it's not I'm not bullshitting
Kamala
you when I
Harris
say
is Willie Brown.
the
Got him in
value I
politics.
place
Got him in the
value.
politics.
Obviously, you guys professionally and success in every respect, next level. But for me, just success at that level, to stay out of trouble, to give a shit about my teammates and not fuck up.
Yeah.
And not sitting there, smoking Krakatoa, whatever those, back in the day, like those weird ass cigarettes or smoking, whatever else. It just kept me from getting.
This is
too
my
much
question
trouble.
though. Before we go on, compare a player that's your game was like.
All right, I think.
I have the worst two people in my head. Yeah.
I just don't get it, bro. And like I understand though, but I understand because I feel like I'm pretty sure all these people are connected. You got platforms like this, the same people that are cutting checks for this podcast are probably some of the biggest donors to Gavin Newsom. I'm willing to bet anything on that. Whoever cuts the check for this podcast, that Stephen Jackson and Matt Barnes on All the Smoke, whoever cuts their checks, I'm pretty sure is a big donor for Gavin Newsom. I'm pretty sure of it. So they probably told Stephen Jackson, the donors, and whoever the CEO is, whoever the funder is, the funder behind this podcast, All the Smoke, they probably told Stephen Jackson and Matt Barnes, like, hey, man, we got Gavin Newsom coming in. We want him to appear relatable, make him feel comfortable. Here are some questions to ask him, set him up good, and make him look real relatable. He's gonna have a push in 2028 or whatever. And we need to get some of the black supporters to, fill them a little bit. And they said, oh yeah, we got it, man. Hey, we got it. Yeah, that direct deposit gonna hit in the morning. So let's look at Gavin's biography. All right. Let's look at his biography. Just before, this was October the 10th, 1967, in San Francisco, California. Just before Valentine's Day weekend in 2004, recently elected San Francisco Mayor Gavin Newsom. Damn, Gavin Newsom was 1967. That had to be his father, right? That was Gavin Newsom, 1967. I'm tripping. All right. October the 10th, 1967, San Francisco, California. Politics. Just before Valentine's Day weekend in 2004, recently elected San Francisco Mayor Gavin Newsom ordered the county clerk to begin issuing marriage licenses for same-sex couples who applied at San Francisco City Hall, of course. They moved without more than 4,000 couples to get married that weekend in the city. He became a hero to the gay and lesbian community for his vibe. All right, that was the youngest mayor of San Francisco since 1897 was born Gavin Christopher Newsom on October 10, 1967. He was a fourth generation San Franciscan and came from a politically well-connected family. His grandfather was a friend of a California governor in 1960s, and his father, William, served as a California appeals court judge for many years. Newsom's father was also a boyhood pal of one of San Francisco's richest citizens, Gordon Getty. The elder, Newsom, and the billionaire Orr Hare had known one another since their high school days in the 1940s. When a Getty grandson, Jean Paul III, 1956 through present, was abducted by kidnappers in Italy in 1973, Newsom's father and others traveled there to pay the ransom money. After the teenager's ear was cut off and sent to a newspaper. Newsom's parents had divorced by then. He and his younger sister, Hillary, were raised primarily by their mother, Tessa, although they remained close to their father and also to the Gettys. Newsom's mother worked as a bookkeeper, waitress, and a secretary to make ends meet. And Newsom later admitted that his school years were difficult because of his dyslexia and a learning disorder that makes writing and spelling difficult. He went to a French American bilingual academy, then to the Notre Dame de Victoria School in San Francisco. After graduating from Redwood High School in Marion County, he won a partial baseball scholarship to Santa Clara University, graduating in 1989 with a political science degree. My reward at the end of the day is that I can live with myself. I did my job and I had a conscience. That's more powerful than being mayor. Newsom's open wine business. Newsom's family connections helped him get a job in the office of a well-connected San Francisco real estate mogul, but the position paid just $18,000 a year. In 1992, he and Getty's son, Billy, a friend since childhood, decided to open a wine business. They called their Fillmore Street store the Plump Jack Wine Shop. Their venture was financed by the elder Getty and named after an opera Gordon Getty had written based on a character from Shakespeare. San Francisco's first lady lives in New York. Heated campaign. All right, so if you go through this, man, you'll see that I don't think Gavin struggled like that. Sure, not to the extent of living off of Wonder Bread and mac and cheese. But yet he's on all the smoke trying to fit in with the brothers. Pandering. Because that's what Democrats are good at. That's what they're good at. Right? That's what they're good at. And I guess Stephen Jackson and Matt Barnes, man, them guys are just, they're okay with being used, man. It's no different than the Breakfast Club. The Breakfast Club and people like Charlamagne, they'll swear up and down that they're independent, but at the same time, day in and day out, they'll try to carry the water and defend the Democrats while at the same time bashing Republicans. It's not an independent, bro. You can say you're independent, but your words and your actions and what you tell people on a 24/7 basis on the type of platforms that you guys have, man, that tells it all. But y'all get in the comment section, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think about Gavin Newsom and his 5 stacks of Wonder Bread and mac and cheese, and how Stephen Jackson and Matt Barnes were just eating it up, clapping and smiling, and oh man, sounds like the White Stack 5, man. It sounds like the White Stack 5. And Gavin was like, yeah, man, I just grew up hustling and eating mac and cheese and Wonder Bread, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think.